Do I look like an accountant? Do you think you should take financial advice from this guy? Spoiler alert, this is not financial advice. AI has just been on a generational loss streak recently, and not only just the AI graduation stuff where everyone's trying to like boo their professors and everything for like trying to shoehorn AI in, but not only that, they're losing professionally. The designers of the biggest AI like implementations, Microsoft, their Claude application, Starbucks, are all getting tanked. This video is going to cover 3 topics: the AI inventory at Starbucks, Microsoft and their Claude coding program, and Uber taking a giant L. Now, before I bring you up by telling you about AI's failures, I gotta bring you low by giving you a little perspective on where we are in the AI sphere right now. What do the designers of AI want out of this? And this lovely goober is Sam Altman, the designer of ChatGPT and shit. Or I think CEO of OpenAI. I don't care. Whatever. One of these goobers.
See a future where intelligence is a utility like electricity or water, and people buy it from us on a meter. And
that is an insane quote. Just to put into perspective what he's really talking about, they're trying to just be a gatekeeper of information. That is all their business practices. This isn't business. This isn't helping people. This is AI trying to shoehorn and create a barrier between you and things you already have. You have access to Google. You have access to doing your own research. But if this tool is in the way and you got to pay for it, they're making billions of dollars. And it goes back to like businesses are just middlemen for like what you actually want. Yeah, I get it. Fine. But this is literally so clear cut. You can't exist without their business. And it's just useless. No, Kevin O'Leary, I don't want to buy your information off a meter. No, Sam Alt-Reitman, I don't want to buy your information that I can find off Wikipedia with 5 extra seconds through your platform that I'd have to shoehorn money through. Whatever. I digress from this topic. This is just to frame the video. Starbucks is one of the giant corporations that has massively just sped and rapidly tried to adopt AI in every single place that they possibly can. And one thing that they wanted to do was implement it for their inventory counting so that they would install some cameras. The program was called automated counting. And the system kept messing up once it hit real world stores, and it wasn't able to tell almond milk from oat milk or just completely missing syrup bottles. Doesn't sound like this AI thing is very useful if it can't count a syrup bottle. This sucks to see it not do well, specifically in this instance. Like, I'm not a fan of Starbucks, but for something like inventory counting that is analytical, is a process-oriented thing, automating that is a good thing. There are uses for AI. All this does is have the stores be low on inventory, the AI system miscounts things, mislabels things, whatever, and then those stores underperform because of the mislabeling and everything, and then they lay off people, such as this. They just laid off 300 corporate staff this month. You're promised jobs by AI, you get cut by AI. It's insane. Next example. So all the headlines of this specific one is going to be Microsoft bans Claude code for their engineers. Now, technically, if you bury that down, they are not banning Claude usage. They're just moving them over to the Claude GitHub like place. So basically, they have to code over here and not over here instead. And the problem is if they code over here, they're going to increase prices by, I think, from like $40 to $600. For their engineers just to use the coding platform. I don't get it, man. Microsoft, the designer of Claude, is basically saying in this entire scheme that what they have done previously, which is give their employees and engineers open access to the AI platform to do their coding, to do their like non-code tasks, basically to spread it throughout the company, and they have access to it. What they're doing now is saying, hell nah, you gotta pay for it. This paragraph here sums it up really perfectly, claiming that like the economics of token AI, where they exist at their current price points, does not function, and you can't just like spew them around. They aren't good util without absurd amounts of cash being poured into it. Just to have it function and spit out a garbage, maybe wrong answer, by the way. I really want to have a bit throughout this video where I inch closer to a bubble. That'd be funny. Before I move on to the last situation, which is Uber, there is an AI adoption that is talked about regularly, and it is not happening. It is not happening. People at Microsoft are denying its adoption, essentially. Professionals at Starbucks, Microsoft, Uber are all rejecting it because it doesn't work. It's not efficient. And one of the big things that I like explaining about and have like doing research on is this is not AI. If you don't know, all the AI that exists right now is generative AI, which means it forms off of the ideas and information that we feed it and or is available in existence. It doesn't do anything with that information besides basically play fetch. Gen AI, general AI, I know gen, but general AI, not generative, general AI, basically is able to be what everyone is promoting as AI right now. It's able to think, it's able to connect thoughts, it's rapidly more efficient than the human brain, and it's able to take the information that generative AI would have and basically build out a tree with it. They're basically able to, it's able to connect ideas creatively in ways that like link to each other and it's basically able to think. This article reads that Uber spent its entire AI budget for 2026 in 4 months. That's how expensive the token economics, as people like to say, are for these like Claude systems, these like AI building blocks. This little section of the article also talks about how basically all these AI platforms are switching to token-based usage systems instead of just subscription-based systems. And that's because user usage varies greatly. I'm not going to use AI nearly as much as someone who's coding at Microsoft. That's pretty obvious. So this person who's doing the work for Microsoft is going to foot the bill for Microsoft on their usage and work for Microsoft. Ugh. As much as I personally hate a subscription-based model, this is really bad solely because the tokens are so expensive right now that it is not possible for even Starbucks or Uber or Microsoft to justify these costs to their business. And if you're a stock investor, that should fucking scare you. Now that I've doomed you low, brought you high, we're going to bring you somewhere in the middle to make you hate the whole thing again. Would you please give a warm welcome to the BlackRock CEO? Oh, that's weird. There's no cheers. The BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, will bring us home with just how wonderful the future of AI is going to be. How are we going to invest in a future of AI that is going to save us, bring us to the stars, and generally just even be affordable in the first place?
Some of these, if we're going to be the leader in technology, which we are, if we are going to be the leader in AI, which we presently are, it's just going to require trillions of dollars of investments.
Gee, Mr. BlackRock CEO, with your trillions of dollars in investments, where do you want this trillions of dollars of investments to come from? Let's find out.
And if we don't invest in it, China will be the global leader in this. And if you think about how that translates, it translates into a more dynamic economy. We need the United States economy to grow at over 2%. We need the U.S. economy to grow at 3%, especially with the growing deficits the federal government has. And so much of this money, not just the project, is going to be coming from the private sector, from savings accounts, from pension accounts, from insurance companies, and on and on and on.
You heard it here first, folks. We need to grow with the U.S. The United States economy needs to boom by 2%, and that's coming out of your savings. Dude, I just don't get it, man. Again, I'd like to pose the question, who is letting them do these interviews? Because it just makes them to look like the ghoulish old creeps that they are. This isn't a good look. You just said that you were going to fund bullshit with people's pension funds and savings accounts. What are you talking about? You said that openly to a camera. Now imagine what they're actually trying to do. Basically, to summarize, he wants to steal from the general public to fund trillions of dollars of crap and horse shit across the country. Sure, man. Fuck it. God damn. This is just such a bad look for people. I don't get it. I don't get anybody who's a backer of AI. It's really, really bad. This goes really, really well in parallel to my previous AI video about the graduations, because a lot of those were to art students at like Cal Arts and whatever, but that was mainly a focus on generative AI being such a big problem for artists because it's literally taking their jobs in their face and stealing from their work. This is different. This is like professional failures that AI is showing. Not only at Microsoft, at Uber, but at fucking, what was the other one? Starbucks. It's just not working. You can go on any sort of media tear that you want. I need a 40,000 acre data field and you guys gotta suffer for it. I'm literally gonna nuke Utah. I cannot stand the place. But you can go on any media tear you want and it will not make this look better. But yeah, that's about it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Fuck these guys and fuck pretty much anything to do with AI right now. I cannot stress how badly this shit sucks. But anyways, I will see you later. Peace out.